Alright, tomorrow night we're going to be making fried rice. We're just going to get this rice started so that we can get it cooked and in the refrigerator before we go to bed tonight. We've put 4 cups of rice, 8 cups of water, 2 tablespoons of butter, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to cook this on low for 4 hours. Ooh, that's a really long time. Okay, now that your rice has been cooking in your slow cooker for 4 hours, let's lift this out and put it in the fridge overnight. On a hot pad, of course. Okay, in the afternoon, you're just going to pull this out of the fridge, put in 1 cube of butter, 1 stick of butter, and 10 to 12 ounces of frozen peas and carrots. I'm just going to put that on warm for the 6-hour timer. Just let that start cooking before dinner. It's going to make cooking time a lot shorter. Oh, and put the lid back on. If you don't have a keep warm setting on your slow cooker, you could always do 2 hours on low and then just let it turn off and leave it sit into the warm slow cooker. All right, now after your butter gets all melted in there, go ahead and give your rice a fluff. You just want to scoop it from underneath and get it that way. Mix in that butter and break up these big pieces that are still a little stuck together. You see how it's just starting to fluff apart? There we go. Just got to work your way into the bottom. You don't want to smush the rice. You just want to fluff it and fluff it and fluff it and fluff it. Ooh, smushed it a little too hard of a fluff. It's better to use the back of your spoon to do this too so that it doesn't compress. Just kind of falls off the back of your spoon. All right, and we'll just put the lid on that here for a little while. What you're going to want to do is get 1 pound of bacon. Turn on your skillet. You want your skillet to get nice and hot. And we're just going to chop these into, actually I guess you'd call it slice. We're just going to slice this into really small pieces of bacon here. And they don't have to be all perfect. Once a couple imperfect ones makes it even better. Some big pieces and some little pieces. And if you want to make half the amount of fried rice I'm making, you can easily cut this recipe in half. See all those big pieces we got in there like that? Just leave it like that. It's going to make it much better. We're just going to put all of this into this hot skillet. Then we're going to get our hands washed and wash this cutting board so we can cut some onions. Get on the other side right there. And you can help me get the onions in the bowl after I cut them, okay? Okay.
Are you ready?
No, not yet.
Ready?
Got my helper over here. She loves to cook. She's probably going to be a better cook than most adults by the time she's 5.
Wow.
Okay, put those ones in the bowl. Thank you for helping me.
No, I have to put the bucket behind the top. I need a glue.
Oh, hold on, I'll get you one. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me. Okay. Just want to stir those about every 30 seconds to a minute. Is it making your eyes cry?
No, I have the onion out of the bowl.
Your eyes are ruined from looking at your phone?
Yeah.
Oh no. We had to talk about having the brightness turned up too high on her phone yesterday, so it doesn't ruin her eyes. Make sure that auto brightness is on so your eyes don't get ruined. Huh, babe?
Mama, it's a hump.
Yeah, now that the onions are making her eyes cry, she thinks that her eyes are ruined from looking at the phone. That's a legitimate fear to put into a 3.5-year-old. You're not crying anymore?
Yeah.
All right, good.
I'm good. I feel good.
All right. I must have really tough eyes because onions don't make me cry, but I'm very, very used to it. There you go. Okay. Now that that's starting to snap, crackle, and pop, that's how you can tell that they're done. And the sound of it starts to change when it's cooked. These will finish cooking after you pull them out. Just slightly, though. Just a little. Look at all that delicious bacon grease in there. That's the stuff. Again? All right. Thank you. Oh, good idea. You got your sunglasses on so the onions don't burn your eyes. Good idea, honey. All right. Oh, first we got to take the bacon out of here. We're going to turn this heat down all the way to low for a second while we're scooping this bacon out. So we don't want it to pop and crackle and burn us while we're scooping it out. And it will. Do not underestimate it. Okay. And drain this off just a little bit as we pull it out. Hold on, girl. Yeah, you can have a yellow sucker while we wait. Or you promise you're going to eat dinner good, right? Okay. Being really careful so I don't scratch my skillet. Well, let's see, how much bacon grease do we actually have here? Let's tip it so we can get a better look at that. Okay, now we're just going to set this aside right over here. Let me go get a plate for a lid. All right, let's see how much grease is actually in there. It's quite a bit. It's about 6 tablespoons. That's going to be too much. So let's scoop a little bit of that out and add that to our bacon grease in the fridge. This here is my bacon grease. If anybody ever touches my bacon grease without permission, I get them in trouble. Get all those yummy pieces of bacon in there. Use this for making soups and gravies. Yeah, we probably only need about 2 tablespoons of bacon grease in this skillet. If you got little pieces of bacon in your bacon grease, don't worry about that going to be going bad, because they used to actually preserve meat by dipping it into oil, similar to this, or lard, so they could take it across oceans, you know, on expeditions. As long as those pieces of bacon are underneath your grease level, when you put it in here, they're not going to mold. And I keep this in the refrigerator. Now that we got our 2 tablespoons of bacon grease remaining into our skillet, we're going to fry up those onion and those eggs, and we're just going to do them at the same time. So let's start with the onion. We got 2 onions here. We should add that to the skillet. And we're going to turn that heat back up to high. And we're just going to crack 6 to 8 eggs directly into the skillet. Let's use 8 today. I am in an egg mode. And 8. Okay. I'm just going to leave this on high heat. Let's scramble these all together with those onions. Sure smells good already. Sauteed onions and bacon. You don't want to walk too far away from this because this is going to cook really quick with that hot oil that we put these into. Look at how super nice and fluffy those eggs are. Got to have plenty of oil. It's got to be hot oil when you add those eggs. That's what makes them do that. If you've ever fried an egg in bacon grease and you had to swoosh the grease over the top of the egg and it makes it fluffed up on top, that's pretty much the process that's happening in here. Oops, dang it. Grandma made a mess again. Alright. I think that's plenty good and done. Just want to make sure your onions are all the way sauteed and your egg is cooked all the way through. But you want to leave a little bit of moisture in there so they don't get dry while they're sitting in the bowl. That's perfect. Yum. See how much that bacon darkened up after we put it in that bowl. It was pretty light colored when we added it in there. Okay. Just want to carefully scoop these in. Bacon flavored eggs and onion. That's a meal all by itself right there. Okay. We need carbs for energy though. Alright. You're just going to want to give this a quick mix so your eggs don't all stick together in a big blob that doesn't have any bacon in it. So yeah, we're going to make sure this is evenly mixed because we're going to need to take half of it out to fry the first 4 cups of rice and then half of it for the second 4 cups of rice. So you want to make sure that when you add half of your bowl of egg and bacon, you're not adding all egg or all bacon. Okay. Now, let's get some of that rice in here. If you remember, we'd already placed butter into our rice this morning when we were getting that in the slow cooker. It's already melted in and ready to go into the pan, so we don't need to add additional butter at this point. Okay, we're going to add 4 cups of this rice. We put 8 cups. We had 8 cups of rice total. So we're going to add half of what's in here. Oh, we better turn our heat back up. We want our heat really good and hot. All the way to high. We're just going to fry this on high heat for about 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, let's get some of the other ingredients added. Super duper easy. Okay, secret ingredient is sesame oil. You want to add a couple of teaspoons of this. And just shake it all around. Just like that. And if you use too much, that's okay. It has a really good taste in oil. Really good taste in oil, that toasted sesame oil. And then you're going to want to do the same thing with the soy sauce. It's no more than like 2 tablespoons. Dang, that smells good. Oh, I better get the lid back on our eggs and bacon over here, huh? Let's get that. Let me put our eggs away. Certainly smells good already. Ooh, we're going to want to add a couple of red chili flakes. Not too many. Just one little pinch. Yeah, that's plenty fine. But you can add more in your bowl if you like more spice, which I definitely do. But my girls don't, so I got to go easy on the spice for the girls. Just enough for flavor, not enough for spice. Yeah, you see how it's like breaking apart and slowly snaking down, like it's climbing down the mountain? We could be done cooking it. At this point, we could add stuff, but I like it a little extra crispy, so we're going to cook for another 5 minutes. Let me get some coffee. I'm getting tired. Now we're going to add half of this egg and bacon mixture. Egg and bacon and onions. Look at that yummy bowl. It's hot, hot, hot. We're going to add half of these to the skillet here. See how I drew that invisible line to start with? Yes, and don't get rid of all that grease from the bacon that's down there. You want that. That's what's going to give it all the flavor. Okay. Add a little bit more soy sauce or sesame oil if you think it needs it, if you like a little extra. I like it light soy sauce, and then you can add a little bit more on top of your serving. You can serve it with some soy sauce. That way everybody controls how much chili flakes they like in it and how much soy sauce they like in it. And before we start cooking that other portion there, we're going to turn off our oven for a few minutes. And we're going to serve up the family. And we're going to enjoy dinner. And then we're going to do the same thing with that other half of rice. And if we're still hungry, we'll have seconds at that point. But the other half of the rice is just going to be in the fridge for lunch tomorrow. Alright, now that the pan is all cleaned out, we can start our other load. We just served up our bowls for dinner. And this is what it looks like when you're all done. See how it's still snaking and moving down? All those crunchy little bits.